Welcome back to another session of Recessional of the Red Dragons. Last time, Jet has actually went over the profiles with Trudy's permission to go over her tablet, and he just did his research on the upcoming recruits for the war that's set to take place in about 48 hours. So, this is actually multi-universal fic involving both Pokemon and Mega Man X, in which the latter I changed the timeline of to make it seem more relevant. So, there is Mary, April, Marina, Crystal, Lizzie, Beth, and Jenny, as well as their teams, and also Mega Man X and Zero. They're all involved in this upcoming war, and they were actually notified by Trudy, to which Mary spread the news over. So, without further delay, let's get on with the show, shall we? Alright, Chapter 4, The Good, the Bad, and the Mystical. This will be very interesting. About a day and a half had passed. Trudy was still in the middle of recovery. Jet went to the Bebop with her and Faye, and Doc promised to prepare for the evacuation to Earth, which was regarded as more technologically challenged and primitive than Mars. Well, obviously, it was a shooting gallery of meteorites from that destroyed space gate. Ugh. I hope that doesn't happen for reals. Hope Japan is aware of that. Jet then chatted to an old friend who was once in the ISSP until they both quit due to its corruption. There was an elderly Negro with thinning white hair and a wrinkled face showing his age speaking to Jet via televid. He was greatly alarmed at the news about the impending interstellar war. I can't believe Spike is involved in the rise of the Red Dragons. This seems to be getting worse. What do you mean by that? It seems that the Syndicate is gathering more assassin soldiers, drugs and supplies in preparation for it. And Mars, including Tharsis, will be their rallying ground. From here in Ganymede to Venus, not just here. This is awful. I sure hope that these chosen Earthlings would prevent such a terrible travesty. The ISSP would really have their hands full. He was full of sweat. Donnelly folded his hands and dropped it. His hands, actually, and dropped it. Jet, please be very careful. I've never seen anything like it since the assault on Titan. I will, Donnelly. Stay safe. You too. The screen went off. As Bebop was about to leave the Red Planet, he wanted to give someone a proper farewell. He looked over the windshield and saw a tiny bonfire with a desolate canyons. Landed there, and sure enough, it was the Martian nomad Laughing Bull. He ordered Faye to stay on board as he and Trudy wanted to visit him one last time before the war. After she asked for assent, of course. He left the cockpit and heard a familiar, though ominous, hymn. Yow, yow, yee, yow, yow, yee. The embers were licking the air, and incense also risen. Whatever it was, this was truly a very serious message that either Laughing Bull was giving or receiving from the Great Spirit. There was the usual stuff in the distant frontier, from the teepee with the obsolete PlayStation on top, and even his pet wolf. He seemed to be looking out at something, smelling the air and letting out a sly growl. By the time Jet and Trudy approached the campsite, Laughing Bull stopped to notice them without looking up. Ah, the two weary travelers are finally here. His wolf just sat next to him. How wonderful it is to see you again, Running Rock. You know I hate that name, right? Oh, and I see you brought over a newcomer. The native Martian stood up, shook her hand, and welcomed Trudy. She was pretty shy by his greeting, touched her chin. Hello, young one. Do not fear me. I don't bite. Hi. Jet still maintained his seriousness. So what do you know about this war with the Red Dragon Syndicate? Laughing Bull winked glumly as he lowered his hand. Ah, yes, the poor damn soul of Swimming Bird, or Spike. Come, I need to show you something. Led them toward the bonfire and invited them to sit beside them, though Jet preferred to stand while Trudy sat with her legs crossed. As I had said to Running Rock, Jet as you call him, I'd informed him that with every living, breathing creature there has a guardian star. Each one fades within the sky as one dies. Swimming Bird lost his. I had seen the blue star fizzle myself. However, I found him to be alive and evil, no longer like his true self. That's what I saw in my nightmare. I saw Spike being surrounded by the red dragons. Then he was inserted blood from Vicious. Then he attacked both me and Faye in their hideout. She cringed at the last incident. Jet tried to reassure her. Indeed, Swimming Bird would never be the same as long as Striking Snake influences him. He went on to say the snake and bird are constantly in conflict with each other. It was almost theorized that the van predicted that a fortune teller warned them that on the night of the blood moon, the snake would slither and strike with its venomous fangs, to which he did. Hence the name for the new short-lived master of the syndicate. He paused for a brief moment as he saw something displaying the flames. A red star appeared, and he stated this was where the same spot Spike's blue star was. Jet said this could be a red giant and are usually harmless. That depends on Swimming Bird's fate. This war could either be isolated or spread out across the great beyond. He'll either stay red or turn white and collapse, destroying everyone and everything in sight. Jet knew what he meant in a scientific sense. He said that a red giant could lose its pressure and cannot fuse energy, so it burns more and leaves a white dwarf. Then, after its core collapses and reignites, it'll soon evolve into a devastating supernova as it bursts. This often happens when one white dwarf fuses with another smaller one, triggering the explosion. But what does that have to do with Spike? She was never really good at science or astronomy, so Jet's words were sort of like gibberish. It means the red star was only the beginning. Swimming Bird's guardian star has transformed, and he may never turn back. If it should turn white and infuse with another, as was the case with Striking Snake's essence, then the result would be devastating. So, there's no way I'm returning Spike? He'll stay this way forever? Trudy was growing very upset. This also caught Jet off guard. And the resulting explosion means that Spike would permanently lose his way? No chance for redemption? Laughing Bull said nothing. Trudy then burst into tears. I can't believe this. The brawl she had before was only a small fragment of what was yet to come. Look! The stars are gathering! Sure enough, they were. A cluster of white ones were coming together, forming a much larger, shinier celestial body. In addition, there was a silver one floating around the cluster, as if it was gathering them. Maybe some hope after all. That made Jet and Trudy look towards his vision, but they didn't observe it. Laughing Bull, no tricks now. I was frankly tired of Laughing Bull's negativity and riddles. The silver stars gathering the astral forces together. You're the one. Stood up and motioned her to stay put. Went inside and came out moments later holding a silver necklace. He handed it to her. Here, this is for you to wear. There was a pendant shaped like a multi-pointed star in the center of a thin velvet ribbon. What's this? You are the wandering star. This would make a great name for you. You're the one who will save this universe from irreversible destruction. Why her? What does she have to do with all this? It is her destiny, Rolling Rock. He put his thick, calloused hands on her shoulders. That is why. It must be you. You have gathered all the astral forces together and will end this war. It may also save Swimming Bar if time permits itself. I'm the wandering star? She looked down at the pendant, then hesitated as she thought of her friends on Earth who could fight against the Red Dragons. This is the responsibility you must accept. If victorious, it will restore balance to the great beyond in the way it once was. Trudy and we've described some of her allies. They must be the ones coming together. Keep this pendant close to your heart. It'll show protection against harm. This could also symbolize your own wandering mind. He then walked off and grew somber. Dark matter grows, as does the criminal syndicate. That reminded Jed of Donnelly's warning, and he felt something was amiss. Is there something that you are not telling us? After a brief moment, Trudy blurted out that Laughing Bull once belonged to the syndicate. Jed retorted to never jump to conclusions. She had a bad tendency doing just that. However, to their surprise, she was correct. Laughing Bull stated with a heavy heart he was originally one of the syndicate's advisors, as a shaman no less, but he decided to desert the syndicate due to pressure and unease of their criminal activities. And why not? He had a similar sitting pose as the elderly members of the van. He looks and speaks very similar to them, and they know how to use medicinal means, the black arts of sorcery and incantations. In this case, resurrecting Swimming Bird by using striking Snake's volatile blood, awakening people's fighting instincts. He became a nomad to avoid execution due to his desertion, so it was a reason to get whacked aside from disobedience or sloth. Before Vicious climbed the ranks, there was a former member named Kim Yakushimo who wanted to rule the syndicate for himself, much like him, and conquer all Tharsis. Then Mars portraying like a god. He was a well-dedicated con and martial artist that could even rival the righteous Mao Yenrai, until he mysteriously went missing and left the syndicate to rot under Striking Snake's evil doing. Kim only used him as a host for returning dead or wounded people to the battlefield, and developed them into absolute tools of annihilation. It was no wonder Laughing Bull was a former participant, since Julia and Spike knew him all too well. That entire speech put both Trudy and Jet in stunned silence. She stormed away, leaving the star pendant on. Jet wanted to go after her. Rolling Rock. Go to her. The Wandering Star needs our assistance, and she has to have all the support she could possibly get. I know things are very grim with a war in less than 2 moons, and having her best friend succumb to the Master's evil persuasion, but she needs us, and our devoted allies on Earth. She does need our help. She can't turn her back on us now, and I know this is a lot to take in. Even I'm still nerve-wracked over Spike and his fate. But we can't give up. He's just as determined as ever before. The fate of Spike and the great beyond is in our hands. Please do not let it all be in vain, and may victory be on our side. I can make no promise we would survive, but we'll do our best. I'll certainly be damned if we go down now. Jet thanked Laughing Bull, and he advised for Trudy to never lose faith nor the star pendant no matter what should happen. Also, she should focus on her dreams. These could only mean something very vital to their success. Jet headed off toward the Bebop, meeting up with the distraught Trudy inside, who was being comforted by Faye and her friend Mary via tablet. That cry Laughing Bull let out was ripped off from a rap song I used to hear. Unfortunately, I don't know what the name of it is. I wish someone would help me identify it. It really did have some unusual ominous music in the background when you disregard the derogatory lyrics, which is pretty common with rap songs. I hate hip-hop. Except for Rihanna, but I grew out of it. The Wandering Star was something I made up for Trudy, aside from her name meaning spear of strength. She does have a wandering mind, and thus nicknamed the Space Cadet. Kim Yakushima was a name I came up with. The surname was a random name, but Kim had more significance. It's a unisex name, and it was chosen on account of the nefarious North Korean animator Kim Jok. Kinda like Simba, King Lion, Winter, and the Golden Child, as bizarre as they were, but it was a once watch through for me. It's definitely a hell of a lot better than this other asinine work, and I have a lot of bigotry with SEK, especially with their propaganda cartoon Squirrel and Hedgehog. You wouldn't believe the details behind this. They and Kim are just plain monsters. So there was Kim Yakushima for ya. Does mean ruler after all. I desperately wish that SEK along with North Korea's totalitarian government could just die off. So another chapter done. Next one would be rather difficult, so stay tuned for that. Till then, this is the Ecron Writer signing out. See ya, space cowboys and cowgirls.
Evergreen,